with your funny videos, you have the Beyonce, you have the Ciara. What made you do them?
Well, I was actually looking at a video, and it was a video of, I think it was some people in the UK, I want to believe, and they did something similar to what I did, well, what I do, and it was Lady Gaga versus Britney Spears. And I kept hearing all these London accents, but you can tell it was gay guys doing it. And I was like, it's not that funny to me. It's not that funny. Like, I'm like, people was posting them. I'm like, it's not that funny. And someone tried to be smart. And they said, well, if you don't think it's that funny, why don't you do it yourself? I said, okay. So...
Don't you just love those people that say that?
Yeah, especially if you thinking to yourself, maybe I should, but I did my studies. I went back, I looked up some things, and I went to the original's profile who made the video, and they had no more videos like that. Now, to be honest, if they had a lot more videos like I got, like if I was someone new and I went to my page looking at myself in the other eye, I wouldn't have done it. I would have said, oh, nah, they already got something going for themselves. I'm not going to do it. But they only had that one video. I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna do it, and that video came out like probably in 2000. I don't want to say 8, probably 2000, end of 2009 when that video came out. And I was like, well, they haven't done any more. Like, it's 2 years later. They haven't done any more. So I'm like, hey, they must officially retired. So I said, let me go ahead and do mine now. So I had to figure out how to do it. I had to get the tools and everything, how to do all this. So I put it together. Okay, I just take a video, do a voiceover, cut, edit, do everything so it can, go as right as possible to my knowledge. And I said, but who I'm going to get? And I looked at my Twitter, as I'm thinking, pondering or whatever, and everyone kept talking about Beyonce. And then every time someone mentioned Beyonce, somebody take Beyonce down and put her down, and come to find out it's a Ciara fan every time. Like, I never heard nobody, oh, bitch, Beyonce ain't nothing, Gaga's everything. I never heard that. I mean, I hear it, but it'd be like in blogs maybe, but not on my Twitter. If someone's putting down Beyonce, it's always a Ciara fan. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do Beyonce and Ciara. So I went on. I finally did it. Beyonce talks with Ciara. And I said, okay. And I made myself a promise. I said, you know what? If this don't get that many views, I'm not doing it anymore. I did it, and it got like 301 views in about an hour. I was like, man, that's it. See, if I knew what I know now, I would have been happy. Mm-hmm. But now I know it gets stuck at 301 views. But really, it got a lot of views. That's, it's really being viewed more than that. But it gets stuck at that. And I never understood that. I was like, why does it always get stuck at like 301 views, and then like 10 hours later it'd be at like thousands and shit? So, but I didn't know that then. I was like, that's it? 301? So I'm like, well, let me see if someone like it. I'm like, let me think of the biggest Beyonce fan I know. And the biggest one I knew was Mikkel from the Scorpion Show. So I posted it.
Good old Mikkel.
Yeah, so I posted it on his wall, and he didn't see it. I think because he was on his phone, he couldn't see what I posted on his wall, but he kept getting a notification because all his friends was commenting on his wall on my video. And they were like laughing, oh my God. He was like, oh my God, I can't see it. Someone send me the link. Send me the link. So I sent him the link to his Twitter. And, I was like, I wonder if he liked it. And probably a couple hours later I went back to his Twitter and he was like quoting all Beyonce lines and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, he must like it, And, he was promoting it a little bit. I was like, cool, And a couple hours later, that 301 changed to like 4,000 views. I was like, okay, cool, I'm at work and everything, chilling, and people. But one thing I didn't like, people kept asking who made the video, and Mikkel didn't know who I was. And I was like, oh crap, So I felt some type of way, but I was like, it's nothing. So I finally made it back home. When I made it home, my views was at like 10,000, and this is all in a day. I'm like, man, this is exciting, So that video got real popular, and I was like, okay, I can't stop there. What else do I got? So my second video was Nicki versus Lil Kim. So I made that because that was kind of hot at that time. That little beef thing was kind of hot. So I made that, and that video spurted off. And everyone started liking that video. And I'm like, man, I need to make more. I'm like, what else? So I'm thinking, let me kind of branch out. I don't want to stay with what all the, the gay guys like and all the females like. What about, the hip-hop people? So that's when I made Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. I made that video. And the funny thing about that video moved so slow. Like 2 weeks later, it just made it to like 12,000 views or something like that. I'm like, man, this one ain't moving like the Beyonce ones. Those already at like 80 and 90,000. But the funny thing is, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, when Lil Wayne took shots at Jay-Z on his new album about kidnap his lady and all that stuff, whatever it was, the views went from 101,000. Now it's pushing 400,000 in just two months. So I was like, wow. I said, that's ridiculous, and I'm happy that I made it, back then, because now, it's very, very much wanted, and people was laughing and loving it. I'm all about just making people laugh, like that's what I want. I wanted people to see what I was thinking when I made these videos and how I feel they probably feel. People get it confused. They think that that I hate Beyonce. Like when I let Ciara win, oh, he just hate Beyonce. He's a Beyonce hater. Whoever made this is a hater. I said, to be honest, I haven't bought neither one of the albums. This is my first time buying a Beyonce album, and that was 4. That was my first album I ever bought of her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, when Beyonce was winning all the battles, they kept saying I was a Beyonce stan. How the hell am I a stan? I don't follow her on Twitter. Knowing she's not going to tweet, I don't follow her. I'm not a stan. I don't talk about her all day. But I do compare the two, and I think Beyonce will tear Ciara ass up if you add their stats up. You add how much money Beyonce got against how much Ciara got. 1. She won that battle. You put up how many trophies she got, awards she got. She won that battle. How many hit singles? She won that battle. How many dance moves people took from her. Lord, and Ciara can actually come back and, no, bitch, how many dance steps she took from somebody, so that's just how my brain works. Like, I think of what Beyonce can brag about, and I just reverse it with Ciara, and I didn't really look at it so deep until people kept saying, oh, my God, this is like a series. This is like a TV show. you know, and I was like, it really is, you know. And everybody knows Ciara famous for the word motherfucker. And to be honest, with no one know, motherfucker was really going to be used for when I bring in Whitney Houston.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was going to bring in Whitney Houston. I was like, this would be cool. I'm going to bring in Whitney Houston, but I need her to have some type of character because I already have, like, Ciara don't like nobody. She don't like nobody. Now, the only people she fuck with is Britney Spears on my, you know, so it's kind of like if you follow through the whole, all my videos dealing with them, you see it's a connection. Rihanna always kisses Beyonce's ass. Beyonce has the Destiny Child behind her, and she proves she run the shit. Carrie Hilson don't like her. Carrie is cool with Ciara. Ciara is cool with Britney. Britney is racist but don't know it. You know, she like it's just so much going on if you catch on to all the storylines. And basically, Michael was the only like peacemaker, but he threw so much shade but didn't know he was throwing it. And that was like the fun part with Michael. Like he just didn't know how much shade he was throwing because he don't know the meaning of throwing shade. So he has no idea. You know, so he was just so innocent.
And that's what made it funny.
Yeah.